Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 16 of our VLOGMAS series, and we are so excited, so pumped up to bring you this session. In today's episode, we'll be looking at how to change a number to its corresponding alphabet. I know this comes in very handy because sometimes you would want to, especially when you're generating a plot, you want to give a title of maybe just characters or alphabets, and then you are torn between now going to create a whole list of alphabets and then looping through and then picking them. But then, there's an easy way around that. So all we need to do first, what we are trying to imply, say maybe you have one, and then that implies changing it to a lowercase a or a capital A. That's an uppercase A. So to do this, we just call the order, that's ORD, and then we pass in here single or double quote. And then between the single or double quotes, we place in the either an at that if we need uppercase or the accent graph for lowercase. And then after this, we add the number, say 1, okay? And then we pass it into a character function. So we copy this whole part and pass it in here. And that should change the 1 into a lowercase a. If I pass in here the at symbol, it changes it to an uppercase A. All right. Now, so let's generate a loop, say for I in a range of say 26 elements. Okay, and then all we are going to do is to print I. Bear in mind that I will start from, if I run this, I will start from 0 to 25 because it was Python indexing starts from 0. So what we need is actually a I plus 1, so that it starts from 1 because the characters start from 1 to 26. Okay, and then we are going to pass in here this whole part. But in the place of I1, we are going to put I plus 1 instead. So that will be for this I plus 1. So if we run the script, it generates the corresponding letter. So 1A all the way to 26, which is it. And then you might want to probably beyond that have AE. Because if we pass in this command, let's say we increase this to 27, we run. When it gets to 27, it then changes to a square bracket. But that's not what we need. We need just letters. If I use the accent graph, we will change this to a curly bracket. That's a left curly bracket. So what we want to do is to rather have beyond that, have like an AE, just as you have in Excel spreadsheet and the rest or other forms of labelings. So what we are going to do is to, first and foremost, we are going to have two components. Let's say the division end, because we are going to divide whatever the range value is, the iterator, by the maximum number of characters. So let's say I double division 26. So if I have I to be, say, 1, if I divide 1 by 26, it should produce an integer division of 0. Sorry, I fixed an I, rather 1. So of 0. That's because this will be 0, remainder 1. Okay. So now the remainder part is what we are going to also make use of. So we call our I and then percentage 26 to give us. So bear in mind that it's only in this print that we are increasing the I. So this will start I from 0. So if I have 0 divided by 26, that would leave us with a remainder of 0. But then in actual sense, we wouldn't be able to create a character definition for 0. So what we want to do is to increase it in steps of 1. So we're going to have a plus 1 to the remainder. We had a plus 1. And then to simplify our conversion, let's rather create a lambda function called this convert. And then convert equals to, say, lambda. And then we pass our x as our argument. And then x will be, we're going to pass this whole function as the action when x is called. And in place of I plus 1, we fix x there. So let's just say we convert the remainder. That's if I'm using just the first 26 elements. Okay, and that should give us the same thing, A to Z. But then if I go beyond 26, then that's where we are going to make use of the division part. You see, it regenerates the A because we are just using the remainder. So what we can do is to say, we pass in here an if condition. If the divisor is greater than 0, because all the first parts are 0. So if it goes beyond 0, then what we are going to do is to rather we're going to print here, but then we convert first the divisor to give us a string of, if it's 1, that would be ace, and then we add a conversion of the remainders. Okay, so now let's rerun this part, the entire script. And then we have at 27, because that's the only clause that's greater than 0. All the rest are not showing. So let me increase this to say 30 and see if there's a list beyond 26. Okay, so you see all those ones beyond 26 starts by the A, and then the other remainder starts to increase. So when it gets to Z, we change to BA, BB, BC, on and on. So it gets to ZZ. Okay, so let's fix in our else clause for all other parts. So else, we are just going to print our I plus 1 and then the conversion of the remainder, and that's it. And this should work. So it starts from A of, which is 1, which is A, all the way to 26, Z, and then it moves on 27, AA, and so on. So let's say we pass in 300 items. Hopefully this should work. So it goes on and on till, there are changes. So let's say it got to J, Z, and then from J, Z, or JZ, the next after J is K. So we now pass in our K, and then the remainder, which would start again, A, B, on and on till it gets to Z, and then it moves back. And so this comes in very handy, especially when you have your plot and you want to fix the titles directly in there. Also, if I want to use just lowercase, I just change this at to ascend graph, and that's all right. Exactly. So let's say we have this, okay. And in this case, rather than printing, we want to call this just without the I, we want to call this label, okay. And then we do same for the lower part without the I plus 1. And all we are going to do is to just import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT, just to generate a sample plot within the range. So we come back to the for loop indentation, which is under this for loop. And then for each I, let's use just a small number, maybe, let's say just 30, yes. So first we create a figure environment beyond this, so plt.figure, and then give it a size, say 15 by 15. Sorry, I should have indicated fixed size equals to before another parenthesis for this. All right, so now we start off with plt.subplot, and we indicate the row. So this should be a total of, say, 6 rows and then 5 columns, and each I, bear in mind, plot starts from the whole number. So, I mean, it starts from the ones, not 0. So we need to change I here to I plus 1. So that will position each one in each of its own respective panel. And then what we are doing is just to plot. So we have plt.plot. Let's just plot, okay, let's import numpy first. Import numpy as np. Now what we are doing in each case is to plot np.random.rand, just any random number, say 20 random numbers, all right? And then when we are done, we'll fix a title. So plt.title, and then in place of the title, we are going to pass the label, okay? So that each panel will have its own label. So if I run this, so we just wait for a while, it should be done in a moment from now. Okay. Okay, our plots are so congested. So let me adjust them. So let's say plt.subplots underscore adjust. And then we indicate a width space of, say, 0.5, and then a height space of also 0.5. And then we rerun this. Okay, it should be done. Okay, so that's it. So we then label our plots from A to B to C to D to E, F, G, H, and that order. When it gets to Z, then it starts A, A, B. And so this comes in very handy. I believe you had a wonderful session today. You enjoyed this episode. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe and then turn on post notifications so that if there's any new post, you'll be updated. And to our old subscribers, we say thanks for sticking with us. And if you have any question, don't forget to ask in the comment section. The team would address it. And let's continue pushing and pushing until we excel in our programming exploits. Have an amazing day and be good. Bye-bye.